Hey everyone, it's trainer Nicola Pybus and founder of Fit and Flashy, and today's question is a big one. We're going to be chatting about macros. This is going to be a part series because there is so much information, so I'm going to try my best to make it as simple as possible. Alright, so tracking food. Some people think tracking food is for the crazy, obsessive, fit fanatics, and don't think it's necessary. They think it's the most laborious task, having to plan out your meals. But for myself, I find it completely necessary. Okay, so before I get ahead of myself, what are macros? What are they? Macros stand for macronutrients, okay, which are your carbohydrates, your proteins, and your fats that you consume throughout the day. There are also micronutrients, which are super important, which are your vitamins and minerals, which help your body function normally. Okay, so why is tracking macros so important? What's the deal? Some people just go throughout the day and they just thoughtlessly eat. They'll eat whatever is given to them, offered to them. So say they've, got a packed lunch, but they'll go down to the cafeteria at work and they'll just pile on some food. Someone offers them a biscuit, someone else offers them some chicken nuggets, they crunch on an apple on the way home, drink a can of Coke, have 7 cups of coffee, and then just sort of go through life not really thinking much about food, because why? Okay, then you get the other side of the spectrum, where you have these no carb, no fat, no protein, no fun, yo-yo diets that absolutely shoot your metabolism out of your body, and you end up hiding in your pantry at 12 o'clock at night going, oh, nom, 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 and eating all the food because you're starving. That's that side. And then you get the people that are tracking their macros, and it's important because it allows you to be able to mold and chisel away at your physique to your exact want. If you want that body, then you just shift around some of your macros and boom, Bob's your uncle. Obviously there's other parts that come into play, but that's the gist of it. So how do we calculate these things? So for those that are really bad at math, me, I'm going to make this nice and simple, and I'm going to just put up a screen. But for you, you need to go and grab yourself a notepad, a pen, calculator, need one of those, and some patience, okay? Then we're going to work them out, and you're going to work out exactly to your specification. This is going to be exactly what your body needs, which is awesome. Okay, so the first thing we need to work out is your basal metabolic rate, okay, which is your BMR. Your basal metabolic rate is how much energy or calories you burn in a day just from living and breathing. So just while I'm sitting and talking to you, my body is chewing through calories, my heart's got to pump, it's a muscle, it needs oxygen, my brain is apparently working, it needs oxygen, and I'm moving, my body needs oxygen, and that all requires energy. So basal metabolic rate is your total calories that you need in order to just be alive, okay? Then we need to work out your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure. Pretty self-explanatory, okay? And that's how many calories you burn through the day when you work out. So then we need to combine those two together, and then we get your total calories, and then we're going to work out your macros. Okay, so that's coming up next. Pause it, calculate it, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so by now you should have your calculations down in front of you. Take a good hard look at that number. I bet you aren't eating anywhere near that amount, which means you've probably got a very slow metabolism. You probably feel pretty sluggish and fatigued all the time. And even if you don't, you aren't feeding your body correctly and you aren't giving your body exactly what it needs. So instead of being able to fill your car all the way with petrol, you're sort of filling it half full and giving it diesel sometimes and maybe some bubbles, and expecting it to run, which is obviously not a good idea. Please don't put bubbles in your car. And I know a lot of the time it's because we have been fed this over photoshopped, beautiful model that probably doesn't look anything like that in the magazines and things like that. And it says, if you want to look like that, cut your carbs, don't eat fat, just stop eating altogether. And I want to blow this out the park. All right, this is why I do the job that I do, because I want to show women that you don't have to be afraid of a particular food group. You can eat all the food, and I'm going to be talking about that next week. I'm going to show you how you can eat all the food without exploding out of your jeans. So if that's something you want to learn, join me next week, subscribe to my channel, join me on Instagram, and I will see you next week.